Alrighty, boys, let's get ourselves up and running with a group. We got ourselves InstaBabe. Oh, change up your mog. I like it. We got JJ in here. We got Jazzorn. Didn't get to play stupid game. Got a few games last time in Yodro. Versus we got Boney in here. Boney? Is that M Boney or M Boney or no? Or is that just a guy named Boney? Bonnie wants to go in. Zakati wants to go in first. PvP Nessa is in here. We got ourselves Letterrich and Chi Weaver. Zakati versus, who is it going to be? Jazzorn as a red paladin. Oh, nice weapon. Which one is that one, actually? Which spear is that? It looks kind of cool, actually. It's gonna be Zakati. That's not the COS spear, is it? That's like, that one's like a trident with like a seashell, isn't it? Gonna be instant chicken for Jazzorn. That's gonna shield the invaders up and running. Zakati is gonna burst out right now while images are up and running with that Fist of Fury. Big wings coming out for Jazzorn. Gonna be huge. Shield to explode for Zakati, and he bails out of there before anything happens. Trying to see if he can mount up and chase after a Monkus. In cap to fall. Does get a mad support all the way to the other side of the arena. And Jazzorn is gonna be forced to chase after Zakati immediately. It's going to be a Hodge, but he does sit in a Ring of Peace, which is perfect. Barely able to take the full burn of the damage from Jazzorn into a disarm to fall while he has wings up and running. Zakati used to make as much value damage here happen while wings are up. As wings go down, Jazzorn is kind of out of cooldown. It's going to be touch of death. Drop it down on him. This way, Zakati needs to make the biggest play. Fist of Fury flying right now. Jazzorn going to take a lot of damage. Maledict to follow onto Zakati. Going to get a karma rolling. Jazzorn could bob it. Oh my god, he actually took so much damage. Big setup for Zakati. Didn't even get a bubble or a bob. Fastest finger in the west for Zakati with that big leg sweep. Yodro is up next. Gonna get stunned up by Zakati into an incap. As Zakati does get a leg sweep on him, forcing a trinket out of the throw pretty early on. Bash to come out for Yodro. Zakati still holding on to a trinket, it looks like. We have 5v5 coming. Is going to roll past the Feral into a port. Yodro is out in the open. He needs to find the angle. It's going to be Ring of Peace right now. And he's actually going to use that Feral mobility just to catch up to Zakati. Why he got him. Does get to reopen on him. Zakati's going to go for a big double kick with a Fist of Fury to follow. To stop gapping all of Yodro's damage. Will the Whirling Dragon Punch. Thorns are coming out. This way, Zakati needs to stop all damage. Waiting out on the karma. Dragon kicking all the way to the other side. With a fight to follow. Yodro does a wall up and run. Zakati is out of cooldowns. And he actually does go down with Yodro. All that damage up and running. Down he goes. And Boney is up next with a opener by the Feral while Incarnate is still up and running. Boney is going to land a few on him. He needs to get some dots up and running. He needs to go for the big setup on damage here. Versus the Feral in particular, it's going to go for the Void Eruption early on. As Yodro is going to get a big bite, stun to follow, and Boney does have a lot of damage available. It's going to be instant cast spamming at Yodro with a mind bender to follow. That's actually quite a bit of damage. You might want a Wallace, no wall available. Maledict coming out into Yodro. That's going to bash into Boney. Is that a Feral going to die to a Shadow Priest? And it looks like the Feral actually died to a Shadow Priest. As Boney just obliterated him. Just messed with his mind. Who's up next? Is it going to be InstaBabe JJ? Looks like they're sending out InstaBabe up next as a DH. Tried to see if he can just catch up to Boney. Tried to see if he can just clean him off of all the buffs. That was an insane one-shot by a Shadow Priest. That was nutty, chat. That was absolutely nutty. You got the full Void Eruption stun. Big setup. Gonna be an opener by InstaBabe onto Boney. And Boney is going to try to see if he can get some dots up and running. InstaBabe is going to disrupt him with back-to-back stuns. The Boney is going to be in a really bad situation. Mind control doesn't happen as I was a Metamorphosis by Insta. And Boney is going to go for a bit of a heal while he has Greater Fade up and running. And this is where InstaBabe is going to get back in. Boney is going to be out of options real soon. He's going to land a stun onto InstaBabe. Void Eruption to follow. It's going to get the Vampiric Embrace rolling right now. Fear onto Insta. With VT set up against Shadow Monster Fall. He needs to get this Instacast going ASAP. Stun to Boney right now. He has dots rolling onto InstaBabe though. So he's doing some healing. He needs to get himself shields rolling. Might have to go for a disperse here. Is this looking like a bad situation? He's maintaining those shields ASAP. Try to see if he can juke out a kick out of InstaBabe and is forced to go for the disperse. That's going to be an imprison by InstaBabe. Doesn't have the imprison to stop him from healing, but still going to be huge regardless. Boney does go for another Void Eruption into a silence onto InstaBabe. What if he silenced him ahead of time? Would he not be able to get the IB I-beam rolling early, that actually would have been insane. And InstaBabe is going to bail out of it. Doesn't have an interrupt. Is going to back up, get back in after he gets some resources. Stunned by Boney right now. InstaBabe still holding on to the trinket. Going to be a Mindbender up and running. Boney could go maybe for a Void Eruption again. He's kind of out of all cooldowns right now. And InstaBabe looking for that I-beam again. Wants to get into the Metamorphosis. Going to be Metamorphosis versus Void Demons versus the Void Lords. Can Boney make a play here? Can Boney do something? The leech from InstaBabe is just huge. Fear coming out. Not tricking a trick inside of at the end. Does get interrupted on the Boney on Shadow. And Boney's kind of boned right now. Trying to see if he can land a mind control. He does land a mind control onto InstaBabe. It is the shortest mind control in the world though. Does he have any more CC to follow? InstaBabe looking to close out the game. Going to be Malik onto Insta, but he dies. The Shadow Priest dies right before the Malik gets to land, and nothing happens from there. Boney obliterated the Pharaoh, but the InstaBabe was a little bit too hard to deal with. It's going to be PvPness up next as InstaBabe does land himself I-beam again. PvPness getting hit with a stun off the bat. Trick gets out of it immediately. Evasion to follow. That's where InstaBabe looking to peel away from him for a moment. Does go for an imprisonment short, and as soon as the rogue gets right on top of him, goes up in the air. Vanish coming out for PvPness, but looks like somehow he's able to put himself out of stealth. Took a couple fell lances to the back of the head. The concoction is going to try to healing through as much of that as humanly possible. That's still going to be a cheap shot opener by PvPness onto InstaBabe. Needs to get those kidney shots back to back as soon as he can. I-beam coming out, and that's going to be a blind onto a Demon Hunter. InstaBabe has a lot of health. PvPness needs to get those kidney shots. Doesn't have Vendetta anymore, so he's really in a bad situation. Didn't even go offensive at Insta to get a sap, and he actually waited it out. He's going to catch himself a little bit of restyle. Does he have a kidney shot to follow? He's actually out of cooldowns. Not a lot he can really work with. Does finally land a kidney shot onto InstaBabe. Stun coming out by Insta. With the blade dance, that's all he needs. Cheat death coming out, and down goes the rogue. Yeah, if you guys are going to go for that blind, better get the sap, better get control, rogues. Don't run away. Don't try to hide, especially from a Demon Hunter. Get controlling. Don't hide. That's anything I can teach you, rogues. Don't do that. Just sap him. Just hold him in place. Don't let him play. He's just going to use eyes of his own and find you. Especially don't run out in the open. Like, you look at PvPness, was like, okay, I blinded him, I'm gonna run away. Not even looking at him. Like, watch him. Watch him closely. He should be all your attention if that's the guy you're dueling. Big heal coming out for Chew Waver, as it's gonna be. It's stable. Gonna go. InstaBabe. Call him unstable. He's gonna go up in the air. Does get a couple fell lances, I think, on the images, actually. Chew Wave is gonna land himself a bunch of heals. Burn through that BOD shield very quickly. Gonna be another set of I-beam for InstaBabe. Chew Wave is gonna. Chew Weaver is trinkets out of that incap as he does go for a diffuse magic. What is this? Popping every cooldown he's got as a defense, even though InstaBabe didn't have any magic going for him. I mean, I guess some chaos damage, but I don't think it stops it technically. I-beam does some damage. I don't think it's what he is unless you're like at really low health and you know that you can survive and you're about to finish off. You know what I mean? Wall coming out for Chew Waver as InstaBabe barely hitting him with full metamorphosis, but still doing quite a bit of damage. Wall coming out for him. And Chew Waver still has a Karma if he ever so needs, so InstaBabe getting hit with a stun. And InstaBabe trying to see if he can finish him off right now. Might be a Karma here. Could be possible. Karma does come out, and InstaBabe trying to bail out of it immediately. Does he have the mobility? Like, he's staying afloat as fast as he can, dude. He just not attack him. Stun short on Chew Waver. Feels the Fury to turn it around. Does bail out of that for a second. Into an imprison as he tries to get a heal. That's going to be in cap for a second by Chew Waver, but that Zuen is not going to let him send CC. Does InstaBabe have an interrupt? He does not. So Chew Waver actually got a lot of healing there. But does he have enough health to deal with his damage right now? Don't you wish you had cooldowns here? Is this cooldowns maybe a little bit too early? Like, if you had a cooldown there, that would have been it. Letteridge is up next. It does land a good roll into InstaBabe. That's going to be a stun though. InstaBabe trying to get a setup into another set of I-beam. That is full metamorphosis for him right now. Does have a trinket if he needs to. Letteridge looking to end up a kill. That's going to be a mark for death on him, but he actually goes up in the air right before a kidney shot can be established by Letteridge. He's reading these guys like a book. And Letteridge, he's kind of look like he was stuck in the corner for a second. Evasion coming out a little bit early. InstaBabe doesn't need to attack him, just imprison, keep him at bay for a bit. Maybe get him hit with something else. He's going to go for that blur blade dance to follow. Trying to see if he can dodge that kidney shot. Does get a stun onto Letteridge instead. And Letteridge not tricking at anything. Letteridge just DC'd or quit or something. I think he DC'd. Could have been quit. That was a big 1v4 by InstaBabe. Could read these guys like a book. Damn. That's where it's at. Woo! Goddamn, boy.